for another cast in Steel Division League, guys. We return to Division number 2. And in Division number 2, whilst I wander back to the right where I belong, in Division number 2, we are watching a match out of Group A between Zogu and hypokrass. This group has 3 players out of Russia. Then we have Green HD, who is Polish, Time Collision, who is Polish, and 1 French player with hypokrass. And we are looking at this first match, so it's really the top match of all the matches to be played in Division 2. Like, at least when it comes to the order. Skill level wise, we will see, but both of these players for sure are high skill level. They have been in Division 2 before. They showed that they belong here. And I think we will look into some interesting games here between Mr. Zogu and hypokrass. And I'm really happy we will get into this one. And we will get in there in a second, and the games should be pretty nice. But let's talk now about something else that is really amazing, because our prize pool just went up to 120 bucks. Means we fulfilled our first prize stretch goal. Means I will add future stretch goals today. And yeah, means that for the players, there's quite a bit more money on stake already. So really cool there. But it can get more. And it can get more without you guys even paying anything. The only thing you have to do is type !Matcherino in the chat. And then, after using !Matcherino in the chat, you just go here. You go to coupon code. You type in SDL5. And then click on contribute. And 50 cents appear in the prize pool that you didn't pay for, but that will be paid out to someone out there. Other way of getting some money in are these lovely sponsor quests on the side, or by buying some products over here, or by obviously directly contributing. If you are as insane as, for example, Javo over here, who spent the insane amount of 150 bucks into the prize pool, which is absolutely amazing. Absolutely love him for that. Yeah, that's right, I'm a sellout. Loving people for paying money. The other cool thing that is around, that just got announced today, is that we this season again have a fantasy league. Run mostly by Green HD this season. We have put the players again onto a prize. And you can get your team together out of players of the league. And then hope that they do well in the league, because every win they get is some points for you. And the guy with the most points in the end wins. And yeah, to limit obviously how many players and how much you can choose, you have 3 million pounds that you can spend. You have to buy at least 5 and a maximum of 10 players. And yeah, obviously Division 1 players are expensive, so buying 2 of these means that your budget is more than half gone, so then you can only afford players from Division 5 to fill out the rest of the slots mostly. So that's, for example, a strategy, or you just balance it out between the divisions like I did. I went a medium size team with 6 players. I have my heavy hitter in the front line with Quattro U. Then I got myself Emperor Nate. Then Cherry, Rosa, Badger Jelly, and Hobo Tango. And if you ask if I had any major strategy in it, it was mostly players I like to watch play. And that I want to put my trust behind, and not really any big strategy. When it comes to the other teams, though, they look quite interesting. Like, yeah, there are quite a couple of cool teams picked together here. And obviously that makes watching the league even more interesting. And you can be assured that I will be 100% biased from now on out whenever I cast a game between one of my players. Yeah, they're mine now. And another player in the league. So there's that. Fantasy League gets you there. Fantasy gets you there. So if you're interested, I type it for you even. There you go. The link should pop up in a second as well. There we go. Click the link, find all there. Inform Queen HD about what guys you want to get into your team. And then you're in. And then we will see who of us got the best team together. And you can feel skillful about other people showing their skills in Steel Division. Yeah. So, let's move on. Let's jump right into the game. After talking about it for like 5 minutes pre-talk. Okay, here we go. So, we are on Tali Ihantala. And we have an Axis versus Allies at hand. On the right side, in Rand, we have a division that many people don't see it as a high tier division anymore, even though it has Shermans. We have Zogu with the 9th Cavalry. The issue on this division is that the infantry by now is one of the weaker ones. And on the other side, we have hypokrass with 20 as Panther, who I think is a top tier division. Obviously, also quite a lot of 20 points infantry, a lot of good cheap tank choices. And then yeah, on the other side, only Shermans and Kazakis for 15 points were super busted. You could spam the enemy with so much manpower. Because it was like, yeah, 5 points per 3 men, which were pretty solid in CQC. But now it's 20 points, or still 9 men, if you want the ones with SVTs. Or 15 points, but they lose their SVTs and only have Mozins. And that's quite a bit less firepower, obviously. So, the infantry tab of them got heavily nerfed. Like, other divisions get 11 or 10 men power squadrons for 20 points with better firepower on long range or better CQC firepower. Or like something like 30 IVDV who get 8-man CQC squads with the Nikis. So overall the infantry of 9 fell off quite a bit, and with that the division itself fell off quite a bit. But other than that, it still has a punch, obviously. It still has Shermans. And the infantry is still quite affordable, so overall the division should still do quite okay. It should be quite okay. Yeah, Vanguard versus Vanguard are the incomes, so no surprise there, no special playstyle there. So we will see how it all goes, how it all pans out in a second when this hopefully all starts. Let me double check that I actually did press start. Yeah, I did press start, so let's return. And here we go. For you, Lolly. For you. Oh. Yeah. Where's the results? There we go. Here we go. Panzer force coming in. All around the map. Around the map, around the... Oh god, no. Stop. Yeah. On the other side, only 2 Shermans for Zogu, which is an interesting start. Few tanks, quite a lot of infantry, M42s, which are pretty effective against normal Panzer IVs. The issue are these Panzer IIIs and Panzer IV H's, I think? No, the one with the short barrels. H's are the good ones. I forgot the one. Which are Panzer IV Bs? Is it Panzer IV Bs, the ones with the short barrels? Or Panzer IV Cs? Not quite sure. Yeah, those have a really high fire rate, so they can kill off AT guns pretty easily. Ooh, Zogu though gets the PTRS in. PTRS already gets the snipe on 1 flamer unit. Second one gets out. He's getting engaged over here. Yeah, PTRS under fire. Kazakis get out. MG42s engaging the Kazakis. I think we will see this season quite a bit more variety even than we saw last season, because first of all, most likely burning Baltics will hit somewhere in the season. I would guess more to the end, but maybe Eugen surprises us and even sends it out earlier. And second of all, with 10 bans now, like the divisions getting banned might be quite interesting this season. So I'm really looking forward for the variety we see. Already, we see 2 divisions that we haven't seen in the last series. Yeah, 20th Panzer, ME 109 G2, trying to hunt down a 2-2. 2-2 gets the turn in. Zogu microing that well. The G2 now coming from behind again. Bomberundo didn't do much damage, and the 2-2 has to get out somewhere. Somehow. Yeah. One of the reasons why 9th is pretty nice, the 2-2, but if you can't protect it and lose it that early on, that would obviously be painful. He tries to turn the turn, but the G2 nowadays will get it at some point. Like, back in the day, you could just turn forever, and the enemy didn't have a chance of getting you, but now with the better attack angles, the bomber can't stay on the battlefield forever and hope that the G2 just, like, runs out of fuel. Now at some point the G2 will get you. Especially if microed. So now the G2 makes the 2-2 makes the run and the LA7 is in. The LA7 already got 1 kill and gets another one. Good start here for Zogu in the air. Got the JO87 D5 cluster bomber. 1 Sherman went down, I think, over here in the north. But, and like overall the ground forces maybe a bit weak for Zogu up there, but the air war went absolutely amazing. And I don't know how well these tanks can push, actually, especially now with 2 more Shermans coming up. Play 7 could also maybe strive them. So, yeah, solid start so far for Zogu. Hypokrass a bit struggling, and these PDRS could end in disaster for Hypokrass. If he doesn't have an eye on that, and maybe send in like a group of transports over here. Wanting to say convoy because I played so much more on the seas lately. Yeah. Amchar's coming in over here. M42 got killed. But still quite a lot of tanks for Hypokrass. The tank blob moves on. But a good 2-2 call in maybe or something onto that would be nice. Putting them down, then jumping onto them with the Yamchas. I could see that from Mr. Zogu. More Yamchas hit the field. The single one over here though gets engaged before the other ones are around, so it will get killed off. But it gets the Panzer 3M before. Oh my god! The amount of bounces was insane. Like, that Amchar went super lucky. It bounced like 6 or 7 shots. Or like, maybe I'm overplaying it, but at least 4 bounces there. That was quite insane on that range. Ersatztruppen and Panzer Grenadiers coming in. LA7 stays around over the airfield. There's got to the rear over here, so it's really in a prime spot to wreak havoc behind Hypokrass's lines. Whilst Hypokrass's push in the north continues, but Kazakhi PPSHs are in position in the village, and 4 Shermans should be able to deal with 3 Panzer 3 Ns and F1s, are the tanks I'm talking about, yeah. So these don't have the best penetration power. The Panzer 4 H obviously is capable of dealing with Shermans, but 1 versus 4, not so much. 2-2 comes in against the Ersatztruppen. I think it would have been better used onto the tanks. Or the Stalin moves in the north as well though now. Together with the Flak 41, obviously you also want, you always want to give your heavy tanks some AA power. Especially against a division like 7th that has an AT rocket plane. Yeah, so I mean, someone maybe can explain it in chat, otherwise I will get to it when I see the next quitting time, or in the next break party. Yeah, the MG42 sits over here in the forest. The flag gets banned, gets caught by it. Yeah, so it's a 13-11 for Zogu, even though quite a bit of territory got taken here by Hypokrass. No flags got taken with it. So even though Zogu might look like he's on the defensive, he is the one getting the tick on his enemy. Efficient play, I would call that. And with the first 4 Shermans in the north, there's potential for explosive counter aggression for Zogu there. Sis 3 coming around, a couple of Kazakhis. Yeah, some F1s and the 3Ns coming in the rear. The Pak 40 over here engages in a second, so M42 will get obliterated. Sis 3 moves through the forest, and the Ersatztruppe getting slaughtered in the north. 2-2 comes in now again. Yeah, I don't know. Already, like, basic is it functions similarly to how it works in MOBAs, like League of Legends. Like, each of the sides bans a couple divisions. Like, one side bans 2, the other side bans 3, then the other side bans 3, then the other side bans 2. And then one side picks a division, and all the banned divisions and the picked divisions are off the table for the other one. And then that last the other side, like the other guy picks the division as a counter pick, and then that's the division. And then the side who picks the division second, so got the counter pick on division, picks an income, and then the others, the guy who picked the division first, also picks an income as a counter pick of the income. But yeah, the tank forces of hypokrass got decimated over here. Only one Sherman got killed. More AT is on the way for Zogu. And an off-map as well, so he really wants to break through in the north. The Stallion sits in the way though. And the commander hits the field. So yeah, it's overall 10 bans from both sides. So it's back and forth. 2-3-3-2. And then division pick, plus income pick, and then the other guy picks an income. Flammenwerfer gets killed off by the PTRS. That way, the guy who bans the last 2 divisions, but has to pick division first, can leave himself a good division open. And with that, we balance out a bit the counter pick of division's potential. And then also, the other balancing out feature against that is the income pick. And 42 sitting in the north. Kazakh is getting engaged. Panzers Real. Bit of a sad side effect of that is that Vanguard is the best income to pick because it's the one that is the least counter-pickable. So that leads to a lot of Vanguard versus Vanguard matchups. Yeah. With another system you might get more V for Victory or Maverick or so, but yeah. Like, for especially more Maverick, I think, like, that's the second most, like, Maverick and Balanced, obviously the second most competitive divisions. But, yeah. Vanguard is just the most, like, secure one. MCHAR's is coming out of their hideout now, but first one already getting killed off by the Void Stallion. And now 2 2-2s will try to silence the AA. The first one already drops its bombs. 2-2 is a relatively fast bomber. Not as resilient as the P2, so it can get killed off, but yeah, one single Flak 41 can't stop them. And 2 2-2s can kill a Flak 41, as you can see here. So, quite nasty there for hypokrass. Kazakh is getting engaged over here. That's the 3Hs and there's Unscripted. But the Kazakhis get the kill! Oh my god. Yeah, the Kazakhis get the kill there with the PTRD. That is bad news for hypokrass. Who now also brings in more AA. But yeah, they come a bit too late to save their brethren up in the north. The Flak 41 went down. And yeah, Panzer Commander is coming in. Yeah, I will try to get the ban and pick list as often as possible. There will also be a document where people will fill out their picks and bans. I still have to update that one and give it out there to see like how many divisions get banned how often. Get some statistics on that. And then, yeah. Obviously, when one of the players is in chat, they can also explain why they did that. Like, most of the time, it's like what is received as OP, especially on the map, because map gets figured out first. And then there's obviously also some hate picks against the enemy. If you know, like for example, you play against El Bowser, always ban first Blindata, because that's the division he's the best with, and it's a good division. Like, obviously, if someone is like always playing, don't know, maybe like me, Kuruk, you might still consider not banning Kuruk, because even if someone is good with it, and but the map is Slit's Quest, there's no point in banning it still, because yeah, even if I'm really good with them, they will still lose against the third mechanized, but another solid player, just because it's too wrong matchup. Kazakhis getting hit here by the Flammenpanzer. That's interesting. I haven't seen these guys in a while. And against Soviet's division, I don't think they're good. Like, that's the other thing. Flammenpanzers are solid against Western divisions, where the where most of the infantry doesn't have any AT. But against, especially a division like 9th, where every unit has a PTRD, I think Flammenpanzers are a really bad choice of unit. Hypokrass manages to 1311, but he's really paying for it lately. Like, the Boyd Stallion obviously keeps that alive. Now Zogu's off-map kills the first Panzer 4F one and pushes the whole section back here. Another JOT7D5 coming in. We have a lot of AA investment by Hypokrass. It's interesting to see so much AA, because it, like, it's not like 9th is a super heavy air deck. Maybe Zogu is a, like, maybe Hypokrass knows about his opponent being better in the air and that's why. But the amount of AA is quite massive. And that obviously means every AA piece that it's invested into is not less units on the front line to push. And yeah, the PTRS really paid off big times. Killing 3 transports and also forcing extra units to come in. Oh my god. Oh no. Will Zogu actually kill an IG with the PTRS? No. IG gets the fire, but it nearly went down. Down to 1 man because of an SMG from a PTRS squad. Like, this is just brutal. This is just absolutely brutal. Let's drop my Pioneer SVT, one of the few units that can come in a half-track. One of the few half-tracks for the plenty of Panzers hitting the field in the north. Yeah, it's interesting that Hypokrass plays such a long game here. Wolf, I will go into there as well, but it's not on my priority list. And as Time for Collision said, like last season already, he wanted to cast him more, and he by now is casting a lot more. I would expect him to cover quite a bit of it, so yeah, I will cover it, but I don't feel as obliged anymore to do it, I guess. Like, yeah, I will see how much time I have, and yeah, mostly focus on Division 1 and 3, I guess, because 2 is where El Bowser is, and I might cover quite a bit of it. But yeah, we will see. Like, 1, I will cover all games. That's for sure. I want to cover all the top games. Zachi is getting hit over here. And Ostchuppen coming in here in the rear. Okay. IG-18 coming around as well. As that's Ostchuppen coming in. I might cover that afterwards, Ermin. You now got my attention. You got my attention. Those 3 letters get me each time. Like, now I'm hyped up to cast that game. No matter how horrible it is, no matter if you manage to get VDV into a 3-hour game for some odd reason and manage to get enough stuff into it to actually hold out for 3 hours because you hacked yourself into it. VDV, okay, that's on my list. And then it also doesn't matter that Bowser already streamed it by playing it. But yeah, that must be covered. We can't leave that one out. Yeah, okay, IG-18's coming in the north. It's a bit of a stalemate. It's like interesting that Hypokrass really pushed hard in the beginning and then realized not working out. And now he plays the kind of the turtle 20th, which is possible. Like, the division is, like, if you looked at the deck first, it looks like more of a aggressive division that doesn't have any heavy tanks for the late game and so on, but sure, it doesn't look like a heavy tank late game division, but everything supporting equipment-wise is well equipped for the late game, and because in that regard, it's a full-on tank division. It has the Flak 41s, Flak 43s, MG 42s, Flak 40s, Flak 43s as well, I think. But even if not, Flak 40s are still big enough. It has solid artillery options. And yeah, the air tap is a bit but it's still okay. And especially if you combine that with the amazing AA tap that 20th has. Like, if it comes to German AA taps, it doesn't get much better than this. Flak 43s, Flak 41 and Flak 41s is in a really, really good combo. So yeah, I think it can go the long game. That's one of the reasons why it is such a top tier division. Because you don't have to stick with the aggression that you often put on early on. But it's also, it can, like, the thing that was struggling for it before was that it didn't have recon cars and so on, but since the recon cars got nerfed in price and all the support tanks they get, all the Panzer IV F1s and Panzer 3Ns got buffed, they're quite a bit better now. Ooh, all the 2-2s are really insane, and yeah, Zogu's air 2 spam, like 2-2 spam is quite insane. And it's a bit sad that hypokrass doesn't use his JOD75 for anything here, because these could have, that one could have shut down a couple of 2-2s, like at least one with its frontal 20mm fire. But yeah, nice hit there with the Katyusha onto the 20mm, onto the Flak 41. But yeah, the anti-air play of hypokrass is the most lackluster part of his. Like, he's a good player. He plays a decent game in every other section of it. But the AA part seems to be something he struggles with, and that might break his neck. Like, if these 2-2s sometimes are completely uncontested, because he got all his AA sniped and he doesn't have any fighters to shoot him down with, then obviously Zogu will win. So let's see how it goes. M42 sitting in the forest. Another IG-18 coming in. An ME-109 G2R1. There's the first A piece in the side of Zogu as well, and this is a CIS-12. These are real good. The difference between 20mm and 25mm in this game overall is quite insane. Like, the Russian CIS-12 and the Hotchkiss 25mm are some of the best AA pieces in the game. And then also the Beckletines, the Finnish ones. All of these are really, really good AA pieces. So the only issue with the CIS-12, I think all of them a bit, like, but with the CIS-12 especially, is the low ammo. So you have to get supply trucks relatively early on to get them under supply. In the meantime, an Alta Pizza 18M hits the battlefield. Panzer 3L and IG-18 firing over here. We'll hit the Kazachis and the CIS-2s. Panzer 4Hs over here keep on firing as well. OB-25 getting killed off. Lupin sitting in the back as well. Here we go. IG-18s continue firing. The IS-2 is still alive, so that's good defensive tool here for hypokrass, absolutely. Flak 43 and Flak 41 around. But the Katyusha could be really dangerous against these two. Zogu gets the flag back here for a while, but his infantry gets kind of obliterated on the way in. You get the first artillery pieces. So yeah, hypokrass really wants to play the long game. IG-18s now starting to melt the Kazachi SVTs on the way in. Kazachi SVTs are the best infantry unit in that division. It's a 11-man Kazakhi squad for also only 20 points, so 2 men more than normal Kazakhis. And it has 10 semi-auto SVTs, which are the best rifles in the game. 0.15 damage per rifle instead of 0.1 for the normal rifles, so quite a bit more firepower. Like, basically 150% of the Ersatztruppen. Only that it also has 2 more men than the Ersatztruppen, so actually even more, like actually closer to 200% of the firepower of an Ersatztruppen at medium range, while also having 2 more men, so also having more hit points. So yeah, Panzer 3L. How's the music? Is the music too low? Is the music too high? Always quite hard to figure out for me how that is in comparison to everything else. Especially like when the music also doesn't seem to be one level. Like if you have jazz, it is louder, and if it's classical, it's obviously a bit lower sometimes in volume. So there's that. And yeah, here we go. Osttroopen coming in. Kazakhis coming in as well. And yeah, here we continue. And Security DPs coming in as well. 087 D5 in the air with the clusters. Coming through. The Kazakis over here should be toast. No, not the Kazakis. Ooh. Still only limited to A here for Zogu, but he has an LA7 in the rear. Is that coming along? No. But the J87, you could see the small wing. Oh, the LA7 was already out. The LA7 goes down to all the AA. So you were able to see that small little hip in the wing of the J87. Like hypokrass realized, oh no, it will turn the wrong direction. And tried to change it last second, but it was too late, so it still flew over the CIS-12, but luckily the ME-19 got some fire as well, so the J87 didn't completely die there. No focus fire here from hypokrass, so the bombs still land, and two bombs get the kill. And Zogu surrenders, but it lets me think that was a disconnect, which still does count, like in C-phase. Disconnect is still a win for the other side. If it, like, yeah, hypokrass, yeah, internet connection is killing you, but you can't like force hypokrass, especially not if he's in a 2300, 219, 1900 kill position to replay that. Yeah, interesting game. Like, if we look back at it, it was like hypokrass being really aggressive early on. It semi-working out. Then he realized, like, yeah, nah, I'm not getting through these Shermans. I can't push into that town, because in the town the Shermans just destroy me. So let's get in all these AA pieces. And then Zogu on the other side decides, okay, let's keep that air spam coming. I will not get that much deeper. Tries to push in as well. Like, there was some nice... Like, I always like this map. Like, I know a lot of people don't, but it's a bit narrower. Sure, that's a bit annoying. But it still has enough paths, I feel, for aggression. Especially, like, we could see in the north, right? And, like, over here. Zogu just made a breakthrough around the flank. So that's why I'm pretty sure that wasn't him giving up here, because he just took that territory. But yeah. And I also didn't see like any major, like obviously the like if you go to the chronology, like the loss of the 122 and 1 LA7 is annoying, but he also got quite a couple of kills here. Like, yeah, the loss to kill ratio was a bit rough for him in there in the end. Like, especially this stretch of losing stuff wasn't that nice. Same here. Like, there were some stretches where he had the shorter end of the stick for quite a while, but not that bad. So hopefully game number 2 doesn't end with a disconnect on either side. I will be back in 5 minutes, and I will try something out. So yeah, be on your toes. I will test something out here. We'll see you in 5 minutes. Okay, so I opened up a prediction. So you can invest some channel points to get more channel points about who will win game number 2, Zogu or hypokrass. We'll return in a second. We'll just grab a bit of water and then we will jump into game number 2, which will be on Ciano. And here we go. A bit earlier than the timer, but hey, gotta be a rebel sometimes. And we are back into an Axis versus Axis. And I activated something that we might be able to see in a second. And you will have to give feedback, guys. I'm interested how you will like it. Yeah. For now, it all still looks just normal, but I activated the mod. Oh no, I didn't activate the mod. All off, guys. We are back in a second. I just realized I downloaded the mod, but I didn't activate it. So, all back in a second. Play. Then we jump in. You can still do your prediction. It's an Axis versus Axis mirror. 5th Panzer versus 12th SS. So, yeah, it's an interesting Panzer mirror on Ciano. I think it's a good map for that. Like, for tank divisions. For Panzer divisions overall. But, yeah. So, let's keep on talking, Now it should be activated, so hopefully it all works out. Hopefully the replay still works out as well. And just move forward. Because it's a mod, obviously. It's a visual mod. It's created by our lovely Scout Spirit. And I guess some of you already know about it. But all the rest of you might be interested in it. The only issue with visual mods is that they block you from playing ranked, so I myself will not play with it much. But I wish it would be the way how the normal game, like how the vanilla game would be. Because he made some nice quality of life and also some like just artistic improvements to the game. Yeah, I'm using the mod right now. For the replay. Give me a second, guys. We just catch up again and then I will show you the game again. So let's go. 6 minutes something was the start. Yeah, we go. Oops. So here we go. Axis versus Axis. Zogu with 5th. On the right in red. Hypokrass on the left side in blue. Yeah, exactly. Like quick play and ranked, you can't use mods. Which I think is fair. Like, even visual mods can give you an advantage, so yeah, ranked with vanilla is fine. Like, sure, some of the mods might be fine with it and so on, but would still spark discussions and you don't, like, yeah. So, it's still a shame, like, especially with this mod where I think it's just an improvement to the base game, but yeah, you will have to tell me in a second when we see it. So, let's talk about Ciano itself first. The two important sections of this map is this town and the two, or like 3 forests around it. That's always the fighting, but this is more of a cold war usually. The hot war usually goes on in here. These 2 flags, and then the forests surrounding it, and then there's also a lot of fire between these 2 tree lines. Because this tree line, if it's imposed by the enemy, can shut down the reinforcement road. And the one over here also can shoot down in here. It's not quite as good, but it's also really annoying. Like, positions over here also can shoot into the enemy supply line. And positions over here also nasty and so on. So yeah, obviously if the enemy gets in here, or like even breaks through, like if the blue side gets back here, then it gets really hard for red. Let's see how all the reworks and so on will pan out. Like, it's hard to make any prediction about how everything goes, and if they make the game better at all. Yeah, but we will see. Like, on paper they sound like an improvement, but with all the map design and so on be based on the current ranges, I'm not quite sure. Ooh, our Mitsane arrived. Mr. Yabo. Hello there. How you doing? Hope you had a nice Valentine's Day. And hope you will enjoy the cast. Why did I pause the game? Oh, I'm such an idiot. Obviously I paused the game. Obviously I did it. Why shouldn't I? But hey, at least we had a bit longer to talk about ranges, about the map, and so on. And a bit more high build up for the mod and its changes. Then it in this variant will just be somewhat impactful. Like, it's more impactful if you play the game itself. I will and not watch a replay, and I will tell you why in a second. When we see the first thing, I will go a bit more into it. So for now, Zogu versus hypokrass. Hey, build up, build up, build up. The hype is here. No, I'm not. I don't know. I didn't got the picks and bans for this one. If either Zogu or hypokrass would be in chat, then we could figure out, but I don't think they are. I don't think they are. Like, obviously, if either of you is here, guys, let us know who banned what and picked what. Who was player 1, who was player 2. Yeah. Let's see. Did I pause it again? Please tell me how the fuck did I... Oh god. I'm incapable, guys. Instead of minus, when I lower down the speed, I'm always pressing the button. And then I'm wondering... And then I hide it, and then I'm like... Oh, not like this. That's the way how you lose all your viewers, guys. Yeah. Sitting in the build or like, yeah, professional streamer here, guys. Professional streamer. Number first impact forward is coming in. I mean, that happened to me enough as well. So yeah, so far everything looks normal, right, guys? But here, we got it for the first time. Something is in yellow cover. Ooh, and we know it now, because it has a big yellow mark. And it's just instead of just a shield. Which is pretty cool. Yellow cover. Green cover. Green cover. Yellow cover. Green cover. Yellow cover. Yellow cover. Yellow cover. So, how do you like it, guys? Like, yeah, let's watch it a bit more. Gives it a bit more of a arcadey feeling. Like, it's a bit more in the eye, I guess, than the normal way it is. And first issue I see with it is that with the big cards I have and how it lays over each other, that these are a bit more transparent than these are. But yeah, we will pass it this time with this. And yeah, at the same time, hypokrass already captured himself the town so far, so good start there for him. He totally got through there, and there's little down here for Zogu, so he's in a bit of a trouble. And no, well, as there are custom games, I guess you could. We don't actually at the moment don't have any rules against visual mods in place, I guess. We have to check the rules. I will have to consider it. So I don't tell you complete no, but I also will not tell you yes right now. But yeah, it's a visual mod by Mr. Scout Spirit, and that's only half of it. The other, much cooler thing actually, he changed all the unit pictures. So, you know, like all the infantry pictures are relative, like for the Soviets and for the Germans, are all pretty stock standard. He gave them all a unique picture. Like Fallschirmjägers have a unique picture in the background. Pioneers have a unique one. Ersatztruppen have a unique one. Flammenwerfers have a unique one, and so on. So There's quite a bit more artistic background, and also, I guess, easier recognizability. Like same for here with the green and the yellow cover. Quite a bit easier to see, obviously, now. Now, way more prevalent, like, oh yeah, I'm in green cover here, than looking for the small shield. Like, obviously, when you get used to the shield, I guess, like, I don't struggle with that at all, but it's still a nice feature here. So, yeah, let me know in chat what you think about it. Let's return to casting the game. Again, the south looks pretty solid for hypokrass. He went a bit too far, though, here. Lost the flag over here, lost the units there. What's in the north? Obviously, because there was more investment for hypokrass over here. Zogu now is pushing deeper and deeper into it. Panzer Force popped up, tried to help out. Another Flam Panzer by hypokrass. He really seems to like that unit. But there is a Panzer Shrek around as well, so he has to be careful. More Flam Panzers coming in. Against German divisions, especially against Panzer Grenadier divisions, I think it's a good unit though. Because they obviously, a lot of them don't have infantry AT, like Panzer Grenadiers, the normal ones don't have that, Ersatztruppen don't have that. So, here I think Flam Panzers are pretty nice. Flam Panzer coming in here as well. And another Panzer IV coming in. Couple of Pak 40s. Multiple Flam Panzers. Battery firsts sitting around here. 12-12 is re-established. Whoever's over here, roasting some Ersatztruppen. Pak 40s are ready. Tiger though comes around the corner. And the Tiger pushed through here. hypokrass bringing in the commander down here, which is interesting because there's no leaders in front. But in the north there would be a leader in front, so I would have expected it in the north. If any at all. Like, it's 120 points right now. I don't know if you can afford these 120 points, to be honest, being spent in this instead of units that push back the north or pressure in the south. Yeah, this time it was killed by Panzer IV. Like, hypokrass, could you let us know who in this game was player 1, who was player 2 in the pick order? Because Mr. Yabo asked, and you're now around. That would be pretty lovely if you could. Let us know in the chat. And yeah, still taking feedback on God Spirit's mod. Flag 43 here, engaging the Focke-Wulf 190. And yeah, Flag 43 we already saw in the last game that they're pretty effective, and single Focke-Wulf might get in trouble here. I guess it gets out here, but it takes quite a bit of damage, as you can see on the module. By the way, this is a lovely module. A lovely skin, but yeah, it gets out, but just so. Panzer Grenadiers over here though get killed off. They aren't as lucky. Let's turn the town. The fight continues. And an SDKFZ comes in the north. Mr. Arty Visitor. Thanks for not just being a visitor, but now also being a follower. Thanks for staying around. The Panzer Grenadier engaging the MG42. And over here, the battery fervor will engage the Ersatztruppen as well. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, check out the comments down below. I will link the mod down there. So if you're interested in giving it a shot yourself, check them out. If you're on Steam, I hope someone can just link it right now in the chat. If you're watching it on Twitch, you can find it on Steam. It's the newest mod there. So yeah, if someone would be as nice to go to Steam and link it, that would be cool, guys, in chat. Panzer Grenadiers getting engaged over here. Zogu a bit too aggressive for this town, I think, at the moment. Like, there's just too much defensive fire. Like, reinforcing into it is always rough. And if you want to reinforce it, you have to do it the long road, usually. Go the way around here. Sure, it's annoying. It takes you a couple more seconds, but your Panzer Grenadiers at least don't end up like this. So, yeah, this was maybe a bit too... Like, this map is always... Like, you would say that blue has the advantage on this map. And I would kind of agree. But these two flags... Because these two flags are so close to the front line, and blue's flags are not as close to the front line. But these two flags are often just a trap. Like, because the blue side thinks it's so close to the front, to theirs, it thinks it's easy to push in, and then they overcommit and get pushed back and just get killed off in the counterattack, or invest too much down here, and then they are in a position like this at the moment in the north. Though this over here has potential. Like, that might be able to break what hypokrass has on the other side. What Zogu has on the other side. And thanks that you appreciate my pun there, Mr. Yabo. And yeah, Azat's moving forward as well. G42 sitting around. And I think the classical playlist is relatively short, because I think we had that one before, didn't we? It seems to be only 4 or 5 songs? Yeah, it's too few songs. Or is it? Actually, no, it's more. Okay, so we will stay around with the playlist. Fokker Wolves coming in. I'm still always testing with a couple of new things out with Pretzel's Rock. Yeah. Also, maybe give me some feedback on the music in the chat. As yeah, Flammenwerfer's coming around. I think jazz is always good, but obviously can't always have jazz like 100% of the time. Sometimes you have it mixed up, and like usually I'm used piano, but it's a bit too like chilled, I think, like too monotone. So that's why I tried classic. But then also having an opera singer in the background is sometimes a bit awkward, I guess. So yeah, not quite sure. And thank you Gensei for putting up the mod there. Flammenwerfer sitting in the south. Zogu going up to 1311. Panzer Force pushing into the north. A couple more Panzer Force and Panzer Force. The Panther also there. So yeah, Zogu is close to getting a breakthrough here, and he absolutely annihilated the counter push in the north. Panzer 4H is still around, but on the other side, all the armored units died, and this was, oh my god, this is super rough for hypokrass. I have no clue how he should recover from that. Like, his complete aggressive potential is gone, and like with that also Zogu can play way easier because he doesn't have to be scared about that anymore. Can get a counter push, could even like, yeah, relocate this off map to here, and yeah, you don't have to peer flank from the north or so anymore. Now he can use his overwhelming armored forces here to get the victory. I don't know what the Panzer 4H is doing. Okay, now it's aiming. Getting its gun fired, but bouncing off the Panther gets the kill. Another Panzer 4 coming around, and at least there's no AA up here, so the Focke-Wulf 190G1 will get through. Will get the kill on the Pioneers, but there's still way more infantry, there's still way more units here for Zogu than for hypokrass. So, yeah. Hypokrass gets pushed back, Zogu getting the initiative here. More Pioneers, Hitlerjugend coming in as well, but there's not much to reinforce here. Like, they will just be the front line now on their own. The Panther is annoying. Panzer 4 at least got killed off, but there's also a couple of Pak 36s. Hey, nice kill there, maybe with the Flammenwerfer onto the Pak 36. They sadly can't surrender because there is no front line at them, so they only deal a bit of damage, but the Pak 36 flees to the open, away from the forest, away from the evil flamethrower. And yeah, Zogu is just so heavily outnumbering hypokrass by now. So there's little comeback potential here at this point. Like in the south, there's no aggressive potential at all. In the north, he gets just pushed deeper and deeper, I think. So this might be the end here for hypokrass. Yeah, hypokrass in a lot of trouble. Also, hypokrass, could you let us know about the other game? Because we casted that first. I'm not sure which one was game 1, which one was game 2. The way you played it. But the other game, was it a disconnect from Zogu? Or can you give us a bit more intel on what happened there? Why he kept out? Like, my prediction was that it was a disconnect, but I mean, you were ahead. So maybe I missed something that frustrated him, that made him go it out, but yeah. He rage quit, okay. Because I didn't... Was it about the AA? Like, what... I didn't see any kills that were, like, super insane. Like, the 2 air kills obviously were nasty. Like, that what looked to be his big win condition there, the 2-2s. Together with the AA snipe. But... It didn't look that rough. Didn't look that rough. Panther G. Reaching onto the Panther A. Getting the crew panicked. Another Panther D leader coming around. 14-10. I was really surprised when that game ended at that point. Like, I saw that you were ahead. And you played it pretty nicely, to be honest. But I think he didn't play a bad game either. And he still had a shot there, I would say. But hey. So I question his pick with 9. Because 9 really doesn't seem to be that good at the moment. I really like this mod right now. Like, I will have to, like, if I would have to play with it, I would still need quite a couple of games to get used to it. But I think, like, once you get used to it, it's an improvement. Maybe the green color is a bit too hard on the eyes. Yeah. Like, if you have feedback on it, like, visually and so on, maybe also give it 2 Scout Spirit. He obviously is up to improving that. Based on feedback. But yeah, it looks like Zogu is achieving slow push down here now. Hypokrass tries to stabilize it over here now. It has 2 Panthers on his own, but gets now hit by off-map. And the Panther G over here, I think, is already heavily damaged. So it might actually get killed off by the off-map while shooting this down. Panther Grenadiers over here get hit. Panther 4H engaging. You mean like a frame like in Normandy 44? I actually don't know if I want that. Like, at the moment I think the size of the unit card is correct. And if the line would take away from the overall space, I wouldn't be a fan. But also if it would take even more space, I would not be a fan at all. So, yeah. Don't know. Like, I'm just too used to, obviously, the bare bones kind of unit cards in Steel Division, but, like, for gameplay perspective, I like the Steel Division cards more. I know they're absolutely bare bones, and, like, statistically, they're kind of horrible compared to Normandy, but, like, when it just comes to playability, they just fit pretty well. Like, only issue, maybe, is that what got fixed by this change is that some of the symbols on it are too small. Like, for example, the symbol for being in cover. Yeah, 13-11 here for Zogu. Yeah, the sound of the game is pretty loud, I guess. But it's pretty hard because if I am here and I turn the volume even lower, you don't hear the sound at all. And if I zoom in, obviously it's really loud. Loud for me as well, but yeah. It's just the game sound, I guess. Like, I just can't zoom in that often into heavy action then. But like, if I would lower it, then you wouldn't hear any gunshots when I'm at this level of zooming. I'm very first sitting around. The wolf coming in over here. We'll hit the Pack 36. We'll kill it off. Pack 41 heals the fucker wolf. And I guess so. Like, I don't know why you would play Steel Division in Normandy with NATO symbols, especially because quite a couple of unit classes don't really work out with NATO, I guess. But like, yeah, I mean, why shouldn't it? It's just a background layer. Maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe I'm wrong. Like, I'm not quite sure how the mod works. So if you have to do any unit card itself in 3 different forms, or if the background layer itself is moddable. With Eugen I could see the first thing being the thing, so maybe then not. Maybe Scout Spirit wasn't around yet. But obviously, if it doesn't work out with it, then you absolutely can get him into making them, I guess. Yeah, this is a mod. Like 41 moving around. Like no gameplay changes, only the visual changes of showing what is in cover, in what cover, a bit more directly. Like yeah, the yellow cover being shown by a yellow background, green cover being shown by a green background. Panther G over here, under fire by another Panther G, and yeah, it looks like Zogu will now strike the final blow by this counter attack into hypokrass. Hypokrass invested into a Hummel, I guess hoping that Zogu wouldn't be as aggressive as he is. He could maybe get a way back into the town with that. But sadly for him, Zogu played this aggressive now and got a Panzer Grenadier right next to the Hummel. And if it can align with Panzerfaust, it can get a kill. There we go. Marder 3M and Panther A moving forwards. And yeah, more SDKFZs coming in. Panzer 4H is coming in over here as well. Pack 40 sitting around here. Yeah, but with NATO symbols, you don't know, is that now a Tiger or is it not? And you always have to check other things. Like this way I know exactly, oh yeah, that's a Tiger. That's a Panther. That's a SDKFZ, Speerwagen. And yeah. For the infantry, I mean, you still have to look, but even there you have more differences between normal infantries, like Ersatztruppen and Panzergrenadiers are changed differently in card. There's a different one for Pioneers as well, right? In NATO symbols. But, like, I get more precise info, I feel like, with the RTS symbols. So that's why I'm playing with them. I guess if you're just used to it from other games, you can just play with NATO symbols, but overall, I think the input you get from RTS symbols is just more precise. But yeah, Hummel gets Panzerfausted, and there's really little remaining here for hypokrass. The 59 will most likely finish him off here. These colors, my man, are a visual mod. They represent the cover the unit is in. It's made by Scout Spirit, and yeah, he asked me if I could stream a game of it, and I said absolutely. And I also asked chat to give their feedback, so yeah, let me know your feedback. 190 G1 sitting down here. Hitting the Panzer Grenadier units over here. That's getting pushed back as well. And this off-map will most likely allow Zogu to push even deeper and secure this flag over here. And with the 59 around, I don't think there will be enough time whatsoever for hypokrass to come back into this game. Because there's yellow and green cover. What are you? These units are in yellow cover. These units are in green cover. Panzer Grenadier is getting hit. Harder will kill them off as they're pinned down. Oh, maybe they will change target now. Yeah. Panzer 4H just save the Panzer Grenadiers for now. They still might die to the off map. Black 41 coming around to secure the open field even more. I don't know if you want to send it all the way over there, but like here would be nice to also control the road down. Marder gets killed off, but takes a Panzer 4H with it. Another Hummel is around. But Hummel is really a unit you can't afford right now as hypokrass. Like, he just doesn't have the time. The Hummel usually doesn't pay off in 9 minutes. Yeah, I think the mistake really was too aggressive of a push in here by hypokrass. Like, especially a follow-up that completely failed and got wiped out off, like, multiple units dying on the road. And also then, like, just coming in to get obliterated by MG42s and so on. Well, I think it's pretty nice. The only issue I have with it is that its transparency is a bit lower, it feels like, than normal cards. Like green cards in front of normal cards give you less transparency than the normal, like grayish, that has a bit more transparency. That's the only issue. So if the green cards are in front of these, like if you pop that up, you don't see the card behind it at all anymore. Like that's my only critique of it. But that's also based on me playing with pretty big cards sizes, I think. Like that's why that happens more often to me. And also it's due to casting both sides. Like it's a bit, because if it's like stacks up cards like this for me, then obviously that isn't an issue. But with both sides being around, cards stack a bit more often over each other, like layup. So yes, it's also a bit more issue for replays. Like that's my feedback for you there, Scout Spirit. But overall, I think it's a pretty neat mod for that already. And the 4H will hit the other Strippin. Luck 41 under fire as well. And Zogu gets the 17-7 on the way maybe to an 18-6. And I don't see hypokrass coming back here. He doesn't have any, like if he would have any potential in North maybe to break through, okay, but the Tiger, the Pack 40, and quite a solid infantry net as well. I like the setup over here with the two MG42s in the forest, and the other Strippen has a infantry soaker, basically, like a bullet sponge in the front line. The Hummel fires really close range shells. And yeah, Hummels deal quite a bit of damage, but they're also really low on shells. They only bring... Where's the ammunition? 18 shells, yeah. I played Steel Illusion for so long and I was struggling to remember where the ammunition was there for a second. Oh god. My brain. Yeah, it has only 18 shells. Sure, it also has a low rate of fire, so it will take a bit to move through all these shells, but still only 4.5 minutes, so we'll need supplies there relatively quickly. And it also needs really good hits to pay off in a 1v1. Like, and obviously the enemy also can micro against it because of the low rate of fire, a bit easier by moving units. So I'm not 100% sold that the Hummel is a good investment in a 1v1 at all. And in this one specifically, I think it was a pretty bad one. Like, it was a gamble, I guess, onto, like, Zogu being too scared to push. But, yeah, it obviously didn't pay off as all. So, yeah. Like, I see the reason why, I think, but it just didn't work out, and I wouldn't put them in my deck. I mean, I think, more rapid and also just better unit in 1v1 in that regard is just take a mortar half-track. Because ranges are not an issue in the 1v1 at all. Plus, Hummel doesn't have smoke. Mortar half-track is cheaper. Mortar half-track is also a bit faster, I think. Because Hummel's also pretty slow. And it has a higher rate of fire. So it actually can, like, get the shells there quickly. So I just don't see a point why you should take a Hummel. Like, I mean, I know you don't play any artillery whatsoever ever for Ryu, so I realized you don't see the point. I mean, that's one of the reasons why you lost your game against... I think I see that as one of the major reasons why you lost against 78th. Because the best counter to 78th are mortar half-tracks. But hey. Flag 41 gets bullied over here. 40 in the back. And 4 gets killed off. So yeah, chat, can you give Scout Spirit your feedback? What do you think about these lovely green colors and the lovely yellow colors? And the kill over here. Type 36 gets the kill. That's a Grenadier Hitlerjugend coming around. Like, I think we're using like mortar half tracks. You're so used to not use artillery at all as a 1v1 player that you forget how good mortar half tracks are. Or like overall every mortar with radio. And except if you're vanilla or an American overall, then you know how good they are. But like the rest of the player base uses them a bit too little. We're so used to only have like maybe 1 or 2 off-map cards and that's it in the artillery tab. But everything with a radio and a mortar is like pretty solid. So mortar half tracks can be devastating, and they could have broken that 1 hour stalemate in your favor, I think. But Hummels are not anywhere near that cost efficiency, and that's the issue in 1v1. Like, they're super good when the game goes long and the enemy has a high unit saturation and the game is like stalled out at a 12-12. But that situation you nearly never have in a 1v1. So there's nearly never a situation where the Hummel is the unit to buy. So that's why you shouldn't do that. And the Pak 36 now is just absolutely devastating. Obviously, hypokrass was forced into an all or nothing Hail Mary push, but yeah, that means Pak 36 gets another unit to kill there, and hypokrass is going down here. Yeah, and found 1, 2, 3. The unit, the colors are the cover of the unit. So it's a bit more upfront, showing you what your units are, and also in the zoomed out perspective, obviously also way easier to see than the shields. So yeah, in the end, Zogu wins this game, and we are ending up in a 1-1 tie in this series. So yeah, GGVP to Zogu in game number 2. Both players playing really nice games here. There were a couple of mistakes where it was like, yeah, for example, these Hummels in game number 2, and a couple of position things in game number 1, but overall, like, really nice skill level show from both sides, like, pretty clean game, and also, like, solid division choices. And I really liked the play of hypokrass in game number 1, because I can see myself in a game like that, like, where push maybe a bit too hard in the early game, and then just realize, okay, I don't have to push here that much. I just have to hold the 13-11 and see Zogu now being the aggressor and let him bleed out. So let's buy some Flak 43s, let's buy some Flak 41s, and let him rage quit after he apparently lost a couple of airplanes in trying to push through there.